everyone for joining us. Got Coach Frank Martin. Before we start, the university does not have a statement, and neither Coach or I will be answering questions on conference alignment or affiliation today. So we'll take basketball questions, and I'll let Coach Frank Martin start with an opening statement.
Just, I've got a special group of kids in that locker room, man. We lost a heartbreaker of a game on Saturday because we've been playing well, and we had a moment, largest crowd in 10 years at UMass, and we played well. We just didn't play well enough. And Bonaventure just played a little better than us, especially in the last 3 minutes of the game. But these guys have bounced back this whole year. They've got a resolve. They get along. In a time where you hear a lot about the NIL and guys not happy and all this other stuff, I'm pretty lucky, man. We've got a really fun group. I don't know what the finish line's going to look like. But we just won 18 today. That's 9 league wins compared to where we were at a year ago. I'm ecstatic. And, we're doing it with 8 freshmen and 2 sophomores. So I'm ecstatic with my group, and I got no idea what the finish line is going to look like, but I'm going to be really happy with wherever that finish line may be.
So you were just talking about the freshmen and sophomores. What is the sign of maturity that they come in here against a team that has struggled, yet very early on set the tempo that there was going to be no drop off or no looking at the record of the opponent?
Yeah, that falls on 3 guys: Keon Thompson, Rasul Diggins, Matt Cross. That falls on them. Those are the guys that were with me last year. Those guys signed up to come play for us at UMass, and us, like 90% of the teams around the country, had an exodus of people, and those 3 guys could have left, and they said, "No, we're in this with you," and they've been unreal. And their leadership, their commitment. Keon Thompson got banged up at the end of the St. Bonaventure game. He hadn't practiced in 2 days, but he woke up this morning. He goes, "I'm gonna give it a go," and then he goes out there and just competes. Those kind of sacrifices sets an example for all those young guys, and it's fun to be around.
Frank, the 3-pointers in the first half, I know that's not necessarily the thing you guys do a ton of, but to be able to make 6 of those, do you feel like that gave you a good cushion and was timely in a way to be able to create a little separation?
Yeah, no doubt. The thing was that the guys that made them are shooters. I think Rasul had 3 of them. Matt had 1. I don't remember who else had another one. Daniel, he makes top of the key threes for us, and he made 1. And then the one that's everyone, it's funny because you asked me about freshmen, and everyone's always told Jaden Gingay, don't shoot. And I'm like, he works at it. Why would I tell him not to shoot? And if you look at his percentages, they're not bad, and he made 1. But yes, when you go on the road, you can't win unless you make jump shots. We made ours today.
On the subject of Jaden, I know you said over the summer you felt like that was a guy that when you saw him before he got to UMass was always on the floor, always doing good things. It seemed like that's kind of what he's doing for you guys as well.
Well, this, recruiting is complicated, to say the least. Jaden played on 1 AAU team, played at 1 high school. He was player of the year, and his high school won a state championship. He played on the 1 AAU team, and his AAU team won the Adidas Circuit Championship or whatever. And when I used to go watch his high school team and his AAU team play, everybody else got subbed in and out. There's one guy that would never come out. It was him. And I'm sitting there watching that. I'm saying, his teams win, and the guys that coach him don't take him out. I think I like him. I'm not real smart, but I was smart enough to figure that one out. And he's been from day one. He brings a competitive edge, a mental discipline, and he loves to compete. And he fits right in with Matt and Keon and Rasul, and so I appreciate you asking me about him.
Obviously, y'all are 5th in the A10 right now, have played a lot of the top of the A10 really close, the 4-point loss to Dayton in January. What's kind of this team's mindset coming off this win, knowing tournament play is right around the corner? How are you prepping the guys knowing you have a real shot at maybe going all the way and seeing Dayton or winning this thing in the final?
Yeah, I'm not into putting the cart in front of the horse kind of deal. I respect the coaches and the players in this league too much Because conversely, we've been in a lot of close games, and the thing can flip on you in a heartbeat. And but we think about this. We lost by 1 at LaSalle. We shot the ball with 30 seconds at Dayton to take the lead. Got beat by whatever the score was. We lost at the buzzer on a 3-point play against Loyola. We lost at the buzzer on an offensive tip-in against St. Joe's. You know, we've been in some fist fights, and we've had some heartache. But these kids haven't run away from the heartache, and so you know that's what I'm saying. When the finish line, wherever that's at, you know, whether we win our last 2 or we don't, or we win one, whatever, I got no idea. When we get into the conference tournament with this season, I've got a saying that I live by. The season teaches you to either be a winner or a loser. It doesn't teach you to do both. And our guys have dealt with heartache and continued to fight. They've learned how to win. And does that mean we can win the league? Maybe. But it also means that we can lose to anybody in the league. But we got to be humble, but unbelievably competitive and prepared for whatever's put in front of us. And that's what these guys are about.
A real dominant performance tonight from start to finish. How'd you feel about your guys' ability to keep that foot on the gas pedal, especially on the road tonight?
Yeah, I you know, everything we do with this team is a first, because we got so many first-year guys on our team. And it's the first time that we have a lead like that at halftime. So I was concerned about how we started the second half. And then we start the second half, we go turnover. And I'm sitting there saying, here we go. But somehow, some way, man, they rallied. And instead of going turnover, hanging your head, they went turnover, let's get a stop. Next thing you know, we popped it to 24, 25, whatever the largest lead was. And then we maintained that. There's a character on our team that you know, this is year 41 for me on the sideline. That's why it takes me forever to sit out. I'm really old. Our guys have a character that I've been around before. Special things happen when you got those kind of character, that character in your locker room. I don't know where we're at talent-wise and age-wise and experience-wise, but those guys have a character about how they go about their business. They want to please. They follow directions. They're not into their individual glory. They help each other. They joke with each other. They're fun to be around. They practice really hard. I got no, like people, I've had some people say, Frank, you've calmed down a lot. Why would I be mad at the way these guys work? I got nothing to be like. Winning and losing, man, come on, man. That's if you get mad at winning and losing, you shouldn't be coaching. These guys do everything I ask from them, on and off the court, and so I'm really excited to see what this journey is with this group.
Last one here.
You held James Bishop to 4 points. Can you talk about the way you were able to defend him and limit him?
You know, we're kind of unique how we defend with our ball pressure on the half-court line and our denials and trying to disrupt structure. The bottom line is someone has to take ownership of that initial hit. And Keon, he owned that matchup early in the game. But then we helped. And then he missed some shots. And he's coming off, I think, back-to-back 34-point games or something like that. So going into the game, that was a big thing for us. He's kind of feeling it again. We've got to make sure that we're solid there. We can't make mistakes there. I thought our ball screen defense today was really good. I thought our rim coverage was pretty good for something we're not great at. But at the end of the day, man, that initial hit, Keon, his discipline, his aggression. Because you got to be aggressive, but you can't let aggression lead you to mistakes. You got to be aggressive but disciplined. And Keon, you know, like you show me a good defensive team, and it's a team who the guy up top is really good. Keon we're becoming a better defensive team. We're not there yet. We're not great defensively, but because of Keon, it hides some of our weaknesses behind them. But he was good and we were good today.
Thanks, everyone.
He's been trying to ask a question. I don't need to jump in, Sam.
No. And go for our last
Thank
one.
you, Coach.
Sorry.
Appreciate it. There's a lot of talk about your team and kind of the toughness that you guys bring and the mentality in terms of outworking the guy next to you. Where does that can you talk about that a little bit? Where does it start? You know, leaders on your team.
What you're asking me is the way my teams, when I got good teams, which has been most of my career, That's how we play. And that comes, number one, from my grandmother. She taught us and our family how to fight and work. Number two, my high school coach, who then I worked with for 9 years. He was our father figure in the neighborhood. He taught us to become men. And then I get to college and I work for a guy named Ron Everhart, and he let me run the defense. And then I go work for Bob Huggins, and that's who Hugs is. And it's allowed me to be comfortable with who I am, to make sure that my teams, when I became a head coach, are playing through my personality. I'm an aggressive person. I'm really laid back now. But when it's time to compete, I wasn't very good. So when I had to compete, I had to be on the edge all the time. And it's the way we were brought up. So since I became a head coach, because of the people I mentioned, I was at peace to be who I am, and that's to empower young people to be fearless to compete. That's what I try to do every single day. And make it about us and building our teams through our defense, because defense is hard. It's easy to be good on offense if you got talent. It's hard to be good on defense because you got to sacrifice, and good teams are all about sacrifice. So that's where the mindset comes from, and it's what I'm trying to build at UMass right now. We're not there, but we got some guys that are committed to figuring that one out. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.